Sky News, 18th of July 2023, how China is extending its influence in Myanmar using a new railway line. China is a de facto Chinese colony with Burmese faces and engineered and supported the Burmese regime. Even though it has been planned for a long time, the railway line's opening in 2021 clearly indicates the continuous support Myanmar is receiving from its solid Chinese neighbor. A new train line speaks volumes about China's aspirations in the area and is located at one of the farthest reaches of this enormous country. The Yunnan province in China's southwest is rural and secluded and still has some pretty impoverished areas. This line cuts across the mountains in an unsettling flash of modernism. From the popular tourist destination of Dali to the end of the line in the small mountain village of Linsong, which is only a short drive from the Myanmar border, we joined it. The railway line is a prime example of China's model bullet trains, modern, spotless, well-organized, and always on schedule. Speaking with other travelers along the road, it is evident that it has significantly improved their life. According to Fong Hong Sui, a local on business travel, it makes things much more convenient. Before this railway, I would have had to travel by coach, which would have taken at least 7 or 8 hours. But this line wasn't created only for humans. It is clear from the enormous terminal at Linsong, equipped with a sizable freight yard and cargo cranes, that this location was created to move a great deal of trade from China to Myanmar and beyond. Even though it has been in the works for a while, this trade line's opening in 2021 strongly indicates the continuous support Myanmar receives from its neighboring neighbor. China initially refrained from commenting when the military junta first took control in 2021, like many other nations in the area. It observed how things developed over the next 2 years while maintaining contact with opposing organizations. But it seems as though that has changed. In May, China's Foreign Minister Qin Gang visited Myanmar and was captured on camera meeting with Min Aung Hlaing, the head of the junta, who Chinese officials had initially avoided. The message was clear: China essentially endorsed this unlawful dictatorship and provided a genuine lifeline to its beleaguered leaders. Myanmar's top trading partner is China. It is impossible to exaggerate how crucial this is to the junta. China, which purchases 27% of all Myanmar's exports of metals, precious stones, and rare earth elements, is the country's leading commercial partner. The most significant sector of Myanmar's economy is the energy sector, and in 2022, China purchased 38% of its gas exports from Myanmar. A recent UN study claims that some state-owned Chinese companies have sold more than £200 million of armaments to Myanmar since the coup. Evidence shows that some of these products were used in the civil war, and most sales went directly to the junta. What can it offer China, a nation known for its aversion to instability, though? The Linsong trade route, however, provides some clues as to what the driving force might be. China is very conscious of the security dangers. The actual benefit of this line is that it gives China access to the lucrative seaports beyond, not simply through its neighbor. Before the line's official opening, products were transported by water from Chengdu, China, through Myanmar, and into Singapore. And China places a high value on access to the Indian Ocean. Without the route through Myanmar, products would have to be transported through the dangerous and lengthy Malacca Strait route, which China views as such. According to Jim Lee, a specialist on China-Myanmar relations at the Economist Intelligence Unit, there is some pragmatism from China in this situation. Although China is keen to advance there, it is also well aware of the security and economic dangers involved. In the end, China is aware that its backing buys leverage and influence and that having a healthy impact in Myanmar benefits its interests in natural resources and the balance of power in the Southeast Asian area. It might also be calculated that it wants to prevent influences from the West and America from dominating. There is no denying that the conflict has hampered China's aspirations. Although the border crossing in Ruili is a popular tourist destination, far fewer people and goods are crossing there now than there formerly were. A lifeline for many border residents of Myanmar. But if China has provided the military junta with a lifeline, many of Myanmar's border residents also have one, and Ruili makes this very plain. We saw a woman in the busy market on Myanmar Street who requested that we call her Amo, which translates to auntie. She commutes daily from her home in Myanmar over the border to sell traditional herbs and make ends meet. She characterized the conflict as difficult and bad for business. She explains that we came out here to set up stalls to make some money now that COVID has been upgraded. Therefore, it's become a little better. It was pretty challenging for us because of COVID and the civil war during those years. There is a strong sense of community among the locals, as seen by the Chinese traders' acceptance and general support of the government's position. One Chinese woman who sold jade from Myanmar said the relationship was very harmonious because of the economy. Naturally, it is preferable if the leaders of China and Myanmar get along well. There should be economic cooperation. China detests instability more than anything else. Although it may well prolong the struggle, its implied support for the junta significantly strengthens the military regime and increases the likelihood of another change of power.